1, 2, 3, yeah. Sayo says, have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says.
Sayo says, have you? It's Jacob. Sayo says, have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. Hello and welcome to another episode of Sayo Says. I am your host, Sayo, and that's what I said. Honestly, I think maybe it's because of the colors. I think it's because of the colors of my fit, of what I'm wearing. Top is Farai London. Trousers are from Zara from like 5 or so years ago. They don't even fit me no more. The way my bum is elasticating and constricting and contracting in this trouser bottom. The way it's clawing its way into the crevices of my thighs is crazy, but I love the trousers. I think the colors, the orange, the vibrancy, and everything is really bringing out like all this energy in me, and I'm loving that. Like I could never be a beige babe. I could never be a beige babe. You know, like the quote unquote classy fashion, classy aesthetic, classy blah blah blah. Bin it. Like in that one Easter episode, bin it, like bin that. It's not for me whatsoever. When there's all this vibrancy, why would I choose to have a wardrobe full of dull beige, cream, brown, black? Forget about it. But hello and welcome back to another episode of Sayo Says. Something that's been on my mind recently, as always, to be honest with you, because living in the UK, you'll get the context soon as I elaborate. But living in the UK, yeah, it can be it's an experience. I'll say that. I'll say it's an experience because I've been thinking about humility. My expression and my internalized belief is that humility for dead. Sorry. Humility for dead. Humility for die dead. That humility means to die dead right now. Right? I've never been a fan of humility because my understanding of humility is that humility is for the arrogant. Arrogant people need to be humble. And if I am speaking about myself and my work and my skill and my skill set and my talent and whatever, in a way that is truly reflective of the experience that you get, of the quality that you get. If I'm speaking about myself in a way that is accurate, like saying that I'm really good at this and saying that I'm really good at that, why do you now feel the need to tell me that, be humble, be humble? It's the truth. If you're really good at something, or if you're really happy about something that brings you so much pride and you want to celebrate it, why is that a problem? Why does it need to be humbled? Why does that need to be humbled? If you're not speaking arrogantly and you're only speaking in a way that is truly reflective and is evident, why would that be a problem? And my theory is, my hypothesis is that people love to push humility towards people in a way to make themselves feel better. So for me, I'm a very confident person, very confident, very self-assured, all that great stuff. It's taking years, but we're here and we're reveling in it. We're loving it because why the hell shouldn't I be, right? If me as a confident person has no problem with another person saying and speaking about themselves in a way that is, positive and is true. Like, this is true. Like, if you're a great artist, introduce yourself as a great artist. Like, yeah, I'm a great artist. I wouldn't have a problem with that. That's just me. if I can see that someone is a great artist, is really good, and like they're really good at what they do, why would that be a problem for me? If there's a beautiful woman, it doesn't apply for men because who cares what a man thinks? I'm kidding. Anyways, if you're a beautiful woman and you're confident in your beauty, why would you carrying yourself with a way that reflects that? Why would that be a problem with me? Why would speaking about yourself in a way that is encompassing of your confidence in yourself, why the hell would that be a problem with a fellow confident person? And so I feel like when people are trying to humble you, it's because they want to feel like you are on equal footing. They want to feel it's for their comfort. It's for their comfort. Because especially living in the UK, it's like no one can just be loudly confident. Why do you have a problem with that? And in the UK as well, right? There is this so many people have been talking about it anyways, but about the humility culture. There is a culture of trying to humble people and trying to downplay people's contributions and people's efforts and people's impact. Why? Like, why? Why does that make you uncomfortable? Why does it actually make you uncomfortable? I really don't understand it. Especially as a dark-skinned woman, especially as a black woman. Why the hell would I be humble? Why should I humble myself even more when society tries to humble us? When colorists try to humble us? When idiots try to humble us? When bumbleclark try to humble us? When society tries to humble us? When racists try to humble us? When media tries to humble us? I should now come and be trying to humble myself? You should now be humbling yourself as well, so that I can be humility square. Nah, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Why is a confident person a problem? This isn't a rhetorical question, babe. I need you to tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments. Let me know what you think so far. Like, why do people have such a problem with confident people? Like I said before, my hypothesis is that it's only to keep themselves comfortable with the fact that they're not as confident, with the fact that they're not as skilled as you are in something, or as talented as you are in something. And mind you, it comes from that very competitive energy, that competitive mindset. Why? Just because someone is good at something, just because someone is speaking well about themselves, regarding whether it's about their sense of style or something that they're proud of or whatever, why is that a problem, man? Why is that a problem? I don't get it. And then when you look at like the definition of I really love words. I'm a poet. I'm not sure if I've mentioned before, but you probably know what my Canadian is, but I'm a poet. I'm a spoken word artist. I'm a wordsmith. I love words. I've always loved words and really paid attention to words and etymology. I absolutely love it. And so when you look at the definition of humility, there is the dictionary definition of things, right? There's the denotation. New word of the day. Denotation refers to a dictionary meaning of a word. So when you have the denotation of the word, the dictionary definition of a word, the social use of that word is different in a lot of cases, right? Because if you only scaffold your understanding of something and you base your understanding of a word or a phenomena solely based on the dictionary definition that does not contextualize nuance, that does not contextualize social considerations, historical context, political context, you're missing out on so much of what this word really means. And let's not even get started on how a word has a particular use in one sense of the word or one time period, but that it's developed and it's morphed into meaning something else. It happens all the time. It's language change over time. It was a module in one of my my A-level English language course. I loved it. We studied language change over time, language in gender, and language in power. I loved learning about that, right? So you have the definition of humility, but the way it's used socially is different, right? So when thinking about humility, it's about having a lowered self sense of importance, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but surely that would only apply if you already have a heightened sense of self-importance. And so my argument is basically that humility is for the arrogant. If you're not arrogant, why do you need to be humble? If all you're doing is speaking accurately and truthfully about what it is you bring to the table and what it is you have to offer and what it is you're doing and who it is you are. Like, I don't know, it annoys me. And then you've got people who will do performative humility as a way of like virtue signaling. You know, oh yeah, no, it's just, why are you doing that, brother? Why are you doing that, sister? Why? It's not necessary. But going back to like, you know, like being humbled and people trying to humble you, right? The culture of humility, of trying to humble someone is so disgusting to me. Isn't it just? Doesn't it disgust you as well? Because it disgusts me, I'm not going to lie, because people get off on trying to undermine and downplay other people's contributions and their importance. And what's the point? What's the point? What is the point? And so when people talk about, oh yeah, like it's good to be humble, and they're trying to push humility as something that is just always good, like always be humble, always be humble. No. Surely it just makes more sense to always be honest. Because the way you speak about yourself is how people are going to treat you, is how they're going to perceive you. I have big dick energy. I am 5'1", but I have the energy and the presence of like a 6 foot like Amazonian warrior queen. You know? So when you're talking, especially even within the context of creatives, obviously I'm a full-time creative, right? But as a creative, if you're talking about your work in a way that is like, this is cool. I can do this. This is fine. Yep, this is good. Why? You don't know that value is subjective. You place value and you see the worth in something based on how you see value and worth in something based on how you see it, right? So if you're talking to a brand, or you're talking to an agency, you're talking to your boss or your manager, or you're talking to just within the context of, you know, like work and professionalism, etc., you wouldn't be able to benefit as much if you were speaking about your contributions and your work in a way that downplays it and puts it on this like, yeah, it's good. If your shit is great, it's great. If you know what you're doing, walk with that pride. And I feel like humility is often weaponized as a way to suck people of their pride. It's weaponized in a way to make people question themselves and doubt themselves. That's sadistic, no? That's not normal. I don't think that's normal at all. I don't think it's normal at all. Like, the dynamics that you see of unprovoked, like forced, trying to humble someone, especially online, it's actually a sickness. There was one time where I had this teacher, Mr. Martin. Me and Mr. Martin used to be boys. Me and Mr. Martin, we used to be boys. We used to be gang, right? But then there was this one incident that I will never forget in primary school where someone was disrupting the class. I think someone was talking, right? Talking over, mumbling or whatever over Mr. Martin. He thought it was me. So now he's saying, oh, he loses his shit. He's like, oh, Sayo. No, well, back then I went by Ade. My name is Adesayo, right? So he's like, oh, Ade. He was like, Ade, what, you think the world revolves around you, does it? So why are you talking over me? I was just like, I'm looking at him like, my man, like, who are you talking to? Like, what? Mind you, it wasn't even me. But he tried to, like, when he said, oh, you did the world revolves around you, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, first of all, you're using a hyperbolic statement. Obviously, it's a metaphor, I get that, but you're using a hyperbolic statement to try to undermine me, to try to humble me. Who said I thought the world revolved around me? I was a child, bro. I was a child. And so in that moment, he tried to like humble me. And not only was it like unjust because it wasn't me, but it also made me feel a type of way. Even from when I was that young, I was like, that doesn't feel right. Because when did I say that? And mind you, I was popular. I was one of the popular kids in school and stuff, and I had a really good relationship with the teachers. Mr. Martin was a PE teacher, right? I think on that day as well, I think I had like won like an award or something. It was just after assembly, I'd won an award. And so I was like, oh yeah, like I was proud. I was really like, oh yeah, like I won an award, yay, blah, 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 celebrating and everything. And then the incident happened. And then he was like, oh, you think the world revolves around you because you won an award and blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? You're trying to undermine my achievement because of a mistake that you have made? What's the need? Was that necessary? Was that necessary? And so there's this thing that people do when trying to humble you. They're trying to keep you down. They're trying to undermine you. And so when people online, etc., when they do that, especially with women, the way random internet incel ass weirdos, not even just incels, because I think incels are being used as the scapegoat to just generally terrible men. Like, it's not just incels doing this, right? But the way men come online and just love to humble women needs to be studied. The projection, that's what it is. Projection, that's the word I was looking for. The amount of projection that is often in humility, because it doesn't come from a good place sometimes, a lot of the times. It doesn't come from a place of, oh, like, be mindful of this, and it's not it doesn't come from a good place. It comes from the place of, oh, you think you're better than me. They internalize your confidence as superiority because they feel inferior a lot of the time. I'm not saying all the time, but, like I said, humility is for arrogant people. If you're not being arrogant, what's the problem, right? Trying to navigate the world as a confident woman, a confident African woman, where in a society where there's so many things telling you that, trying to give you reason to not be confident, I just feel like the only sensible thing to do is to not give a fuck. The only thing to do is to even if you border, even if you flirt with arrogance a little bit, and so what if you're a little bit? So what if you're a little bit arrogant as a person who belongs to a community that is constantly being undermined and underappreciated? So what? I just feel like that is like it. Like, obviously, it's like a protective thing, but it's also, like I said before, the world is already trying to humble you. You now want to be doing humility square, humility to the power of 2. You want to internalize that and start being humble. What for? For other people's comforts? No. Be confident. Be sure of yourself. And speak about yourself in a way that is reflective of who it is you are. If you're not being hyperbolic, if you're not being disingenuous, why would that be a problem? Why would it be a problem? And I know like humility is packaged as this, like as this virtuous thing. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Humbling arrogant people, sure, no problem. You're being arrogant, like whatever. But humbling confident people, no. Don't be a weirdo. Don't be stupid. Don't be a stupido. Right? So trying to like navigate the world as as someone who is confident and who is trying to get more comfortable with yourself and with speaking about yourself in a way that is reflective. Because like, have you ever had it whereby you think you're doing something well, right? You think you're doing something well, or you think you look good, or you styled your fit in a certain way and it's really good and it's good, but then someone else comes and they're like, wow, you did so, like you did great. Like they're praising you in a way that isn't like dramatic. It's not it's not overinflating your ego. It's just like they see it for what it is. Someone who's trying to humble you will not be like, oh, yeah, no, that's good, that's nice. Or they'll have a sly comment to make, and it's just projection. What for? How does that take away from you? How does someone else's confidence take away from you? It's weird. It's so weird. And so being a woman, being a dark-skinned woman, navigating visibility in social media and public opinion and stuff like that, it can be so difficult. It can be, and it can be made even more difficult when you've internalized the humility that people are trying to project onto you. Like, what the heck? No, you don't need to do that. I have friends who are black women who have been on TV, or they've been on shows, and they get the disparity between how black women are treated in on TV, etc., compared to how other people are treated, and the difference in grace that is given is disgusting and sadistic, and it's so hurtful. So why would you then now, when there are things already stacked against you, why would you then now see it fit to humble yourself? You better not be humbling yourself. If I find out that you've been humbling yourself, don't do it. Honestly, just don't do it. Like, you are entitled to living a life and seeing yourself in a way that is honest. That's true. And that's not to say that you don't, you can't be better, and you can't grow and develop, and there's no room for improvement. Of course there is. But in the meantime, acknowledge what it is you're going through, and acknowledge your performance and your contributions and who it is you are in a way that is true to what it is. Don't let anybody try to humble you, mess. Don't do it. As someone who has been underestimated, I get underestimated so much. I've been underestimated at so many points in my life. One, because I'm short. One, because I'm black. Another reason because I'm a woman. Another reason because whatever, right? I've been underestimated so many times. And so for me, it's always, even from when I was young, right? Even from when I was young, there were adults. Adults are trying to humble a child. How crazy is that? That's absolutely crazy, right? And so whenever I get underestimated, it does something to me. It really does something to me, because now I'm looking at you like, do you know who I am? Do you know who the fuck I am? know who I am. And mind you, I think I'm quite self-aware. I'm very self-aware. And so when someone is telling me that I can't do this, or I'm not going to be good at this, and blah 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 blah, why would I listen to you? Why would I listen to you? You're telling me something. Like, why would I listen to you? Being underestimated was always so fun because I wouldn't even it wasn't even like I was trying to prove them wrong, because they were already wrong. And so I wasn't trying to do even more to prove them even more wrong. I would just perform as I was. I would just do what it is I already intended to do. I remember I used to do a lot of sports. I was very, very athletic, very sporty as a child, right? And so there's one memory that I have. There was this athletics competition. Right? And I was put up for the long jump. Mind you, like I said, I'm 5'1", very short. My legs are not long, but I knew that I have quite strong legs. I know that I can jump quite far, but other people would see me, and this is literally what happened in the competition. People saw that I had been put down for the long jump, and people then saw me, and they were laughing. They were laughing. They were confused. I'm like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, okay. People were literally laughing. And mind you, to me, I saw this, I observed this as a child. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I knew it was because I was short, right? I knew it was because they were, underestimating me. And so when it came time to doing my long jump, guess who got the longest jump in the competition? I did. I knew I was going to do well because I know my potential, but I didn't know I was going to do that well. And it wasn't even I was trying to prove them wrong. I don't care to prove people wrong. I don't care. I really don't care. And so when I exceeded the expectations, they were like, oh, wow, they were praising me or whatever. But I was just like, I remember that you were laughing at me because you didn't think that I'd be able to do it. You didn't think that I'd be able to perform to that kind of level. And so I think that literally was one of the memories, one of the one of the incidents that made me be like, you know what? I'm gonna be exactly who it is I think I am. I'm gonna walk around holding my head up high. I'm going to talk about myself and my ability and my skill and my talents, etc., in a way that is accurate, not for anyone else's sake, but for my own sense of self, for my own understanding of myself. You can't be letting people tell you how you should conduct yourself if the way you're conducting yourself is not a problem to anyone, but it's not a problem to you. I just don't see. Let me know. If at any point you want me to zip it so that you can have your say, let me know in the comments. Let me know. But I just feel like this is just common sense to me. I can never, I can never do such a thing. I can never try to go out of my way to humble someone. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not something that occurs to me to do. It's not something that I enjoy. It's not something that I even think to do. If the proof is in the pudding, then who am I to say otherwise? I don't enjoy it. I think there's just that sick satisfaction that a lot of people get from trying to humble someone, because they do it under the guise of appease, like social expectations and social conventions, right? Like, the whole say like, oh yeah, no one likes a know-all. No one likes like no one likes a show off. No one likes a blah blah blah. It's just like you're just projecting. Like it's not showing off. It's just showy. Just show. Be confident in who it is you are. Be confident in what you know of your ability and aim to, like to get better and to improve. And talk about yourself at every stage of your development in a way that is true to who you are. What's wrong with that? Why are you trying to humble people? It doesn't make sense. You don't need to be humble. You don't need to be humbled unless you're being arrogant. If the proof is in the pudding, if I'm telling the truth, if I'm being honest, it's more so about how, like people are taking what it is you're putting out in the confidence that you're putting out and the self-assuredness that you're putting out. For me, I just feel like it's so important, especially as a dark-skinned African woman, with a platform, to be an example of what a confident Black woman looks like. You literally owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the little random, you owe it, random is so right. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the little Black girl that's watching you. You owe it to your audience. You owe it to them to just be yourself. You owe it to yourself. You now want me to go and be adding my own humility on top of a world that tries to shit talk me? No, I do not subscribe to that. I don't want that. You can keep it. I don't want it. Keep it. I don't want it. Keep your humility. Humility for dead. Humility for dead. Humility is for the arrogant. If you're not being arrogant, then, who are you hurting? Other than an insecure weirdo who's projecting and who's trying to humble you. Like, no one cares. So, Sayo says, have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. Thank you so much I was literally about to sing, thank you so much. Very, very nice. I love you. Thank you so much for making it this far. Thank you so much for the comments, the love, the likes, etc. Make sure to keep them going. Make sure you subscribe. And I will see you in the next video, my beautiful, beautiful succulents. Succulents. I love you. Bye.